The Patriots talking a little football now. Back at Gillette today for day 2 of minicamp. Bon Jovi was also in attendance, inspiring Mac Jones to whip out his air guitar when "Livin' on a Prayer" was blasted over. Oh, wow. That is like my dad at a wedding right there. But good music, great song. Okay, anyway, we have Phil Perry here with us. We also have Tom E. Curran. Phil, I know you were at practice today. What did you see from Mac Jones in the offense? How'd they look?
They were airing it out, Trenni. It was all like about the downfield passing game. That's what it felt like. I mean, they really were because, and I don't know if this is just because it's shorts and T-shirts and it's minicamp, or it's just because Mac Jones is looking at this and saying, I'm the clear number one guy now. I don't have to win the job. I don't have to take what the defense is giving me and do all the dink and dunk stuff. I can test the limits here. I can push things down the field and see what we can create. But it felt like consistently all day long, whether it was 2 separate passes to Tre Nixon, 1 to Jonnu Smith, 1 to Nelson Agholor, dimes along the sideline, they were accurate and they were explosive today. And on one of those Tre Nixon bombs, Tom, you didn't see the air guitar from Mac Jones. You saw the double pelvic thrust. That's how you know the guy was feeling good.
This is Air Patricia offense, Trenni. It's going to be a wild season. I mean, it is fascinating to see. They do have days like this where you see they concentrate on different things. We saw some days last year in the spring and early summer where the Patriots were pushing it down the field. But you know, to see the aptitude that Mac has shown over the 2 days with his accuracy, even against virtual air and non-competitive reps, and they're not totally non-competitive, it's good to see that wasn't an apparition last year, although we already knew that it wasn't.
Any concern, Phil, that he was in a knee brace today? I know he's been wearing like the calf sleeve, but today they added a knee brace to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, he looked fine. And again, he threw it really well, I thought. So no concern there. And we did see him wear a knee brace for pretty much the entirety of last year. But just the accuracy, and to Tom's point, he's throwing to guys that are quote-unquote NFL open, Trenni. So even though it looks like there's no separation, as long as the receiver has leverage on a defender, and there is a defender literally on the guy's back, as was the case once with Trey Nixon, he's willing to make that throw, and I think it's what's going to make him a really effective quarterback moving forward.
You know, Curran, you mentioned Air Patricia and moving that ball deep down the field. Well, one guy who has been surprising in camp is Trey Nixon. Here he is.
I would say, everything's just starting to slow down a little bit. I still got a lot to learn, still trying to find my role in this offense. But, just compared to last year, just a little bit, slowing down. I got my routine now. I know how to really, take care of myself off the field. But, like I said, I got a lot to learn and a long way to go. But, way different from the first year for sure.
Curran, there's always like a warning label when guys look really good in minicamp, training camp, spring training, hitting a lot of bombs that you shouldn't read too much into it. So how much should we read into Tre Nixon being a big part of sort of this deep ball? Could he be a diamond in the rough?
Absolutely, but I think we have to measure that, as you're saying, Trenni. I think, was it Christian Wilkerson last year? People, as the playoffs were coming,
yep.
Well, maybe he's going to be a big. No, he's going to be a player who is wedging himself into the conversation to get a spot on this team and be considered down the road. Phil, agree or disagree? I don't think the Patriots wide receiver room is particularly weak. They got a lot of good guys here. Tre Nixon will have a hard time finding snaps.
Yeah, they have some really good depth, right? They don't have a number one, quote-unquote, superstar type, but they have a bunch of guys who look like they can play. And Tre Nixon, again, it's 2 practices, it's shorts and T-shirts. But what I like about this story, 2 things, actually, I really like about this story. Number one, he's making the most of an opportunity that's being given to him that really wasn't up to his control, but he's taken it and he seized it. And the reason I say that is because Kendrick Bourne misses minicamp day number 1. Jacoby Myers essentially misses minicamp day number 2. Looks like he's dealing with something physically. Tre Nixon's really the one who has slid right into those spots, and he's made the most of it. The other part about this story that's great, this was the Ernie Adams pick last year. Trenni, I don't know if you remember this.
Yes.
This was his final pick, his last draft with the Patriots in the war room there. He picked David Givens in a similar situation, another 7th-round guy. Years and years ago, that guy ended up being a pretty good player. Who knows with Tre Nixon?
Yeah, Curran, remind me, this was sort of a much maligned pick. Like everybody kind of rolled their eyes at it, right?
Yeah, afterthought kind of pick. I mean, everybody loves Ernie Adams, and it would be terrific if that becomes a capstone selection, that Ernie Adams was able to cap a fascinatingly enigmatic and mysterious career as a Patriots stalwart.
Your haircut looks nice, Curran.
Oh, don't do that.
We'll see you back.
Hurt yourself.